Just finished day number 6 of training. 3 days were law enforcement training, baton, handcuffing, and flashlight.
Get back! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get back! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get back! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get back! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
I did a 1-day Pistol Essentials class with Brian Hill from The Complete Combatant. It was freaking awesome. It was actually not what I expected, which, good or bad, it doesn't really matter because Brian's phenomenal in whatever he talks about. And when I first read the description of this class, I thought that it was going to be a beginner handgun class. And I was super excited because I wanted to see a high-level instructor teach the basics. Like teach a new shooter, use all the correct terminology and how they explain things in the most simple way, and to hear the real core fundamentals come from a high-level instructor. I was excited. And how do we dive deep into it to really understand how the brain perceives these concepts and how you can make it right for you? And it was so much better than what I wanted. It was awesome. So we got to dive deep into, fundamentals and, the grip and your sights and your trigger, and just, the amount of things that I learned from this man over the last 3 days is insane. I took a whole notebook. It's a smaller notebook with probably 20 pages on it, but I filled it up, completely filled it up. And I can't wait to go back and read it and process it, and then go back to work on Monday and talk about all these things we learned, and then start practicing them and start teaching them. And I just can't wait. So that was Friday. That was just one class. We shot like 400 rounds, I think, in that class. And then Saturday, Sunday, we did the inner game of shooting. Blow my mind. Because to really to use your gun well, this is me paraphrasing, this is my processing of what I just went through. Everybody's going to take different things from this class because that is literally what it's about. The goals of this class are to define you as a shooter and to define you as a person and how you need to you need to be present. Huge takeaway. You need to be present in what you're doing, and you need to get curious. You need to ask why. You need to gather information. You need to understand the frustrations that come from learning and pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. I know undoubtedly I had the most questions in the class. I'm totally a why person. I'm getting it back tenfold. My 5-year-old follows me around everywhere and says, why? Why? What does this mean? What's this? So and I love feeding his brain with, all the answers that I can. The amount of things that I learned Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but Saturday, Sunday was such a life-changing skill, or there were so many life-changing concepts outside of shooting in general. You're giving yourself the power to self-diagnose, to get self-betterment, to grow, to succeed, to overcome, to challenge yourself. I mean, there was a couple times before we went downstairs, we had a little PowerPoint, and he made mention before we went downstairs to the range that there's going to be times where I just say, hey, go up to the line and just work on whatever you want to. And my heart started. Why? It's because I don't like practicing by myself, and I don't like coming up with drills for myself, and I get up there and I almost freeze sometimes. So I was kind of panicking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, he's gonna give me freedom to go shoot whatever I want in front of 15, 17 people, and just come up with a drill just to work on this and not work on what you're good at. That's what everybody wants to do. You want to work on what you're good at. And he challenges you to work on things you're not good at, so that way you can get better at those things. But it's uncomfortable. So not only does he, tell you need to do these things and give you the whys and show you the information, give you real data that you need to get curious about, and so many ways to grow. But the coolest part is I feel the power within me to do it. I don't need Brian next to me to say, hey, shoot this and you're going to do fantastic at it, because he, as a coach, gave me the power to facilitate that on my own. I saw someone get so frustrated with themselves and then overcome it. Like, it brought tears to my eyes to watch someone go from what the to at least coming back with real presence and real, I'm gonna get this done, and I just gotta do what I gotta do. I'm gonna overcome, I'm gonna persevere, and I'm gonna do it. That is freaking huge, because whether it's difficult for you to just walk up and pick up a gun for the first time and pull the trigger and hear the noise and feel it, or if it's someone that is such a high-level shooter that they are challenging themselves in such minuscule ways that they're holding themselves to this extremely high standard, and when you get that high level, it's hard to move. Plateaus are real, and it's hard to grow because the growth is so small because you're at already such a high level. And that's frustrating, especially to a high level performer. I can't wait to talk about this again. Obviously, this is just, again, fresh off the block. I just went through a lot of stuff, a lot of brain power. I'm exhausted, but I am ecstatic. I'm on cloud 9 with energy, I can't describe it. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. And I can't recommend the class more. The inner game of shooting. It is about you. It's about you. And the tool that you use, the gun, you make it yours. And there's nothing better than that confidence. That confidence in yourself, to trust yourself, to do it, and you're going to do it right. And if you don't do it right, you know how to analyze it to fix it. So you go and train, you push yourself outside of your comfort zone. When you see an error, you know what to look for, you know how to fix it, and you know how to keep challenging yourself to keep growing. I can't wait to pass it on to my students. It's awesome. Go take a class from Brian Hill at the Complete Combatant. Any of them. I've taken his red dot class, image-based decision drills. That one was freaking cool too. Not a shooting class, but wow, making decisions. Wow. And man, I could go on and on. Some of the drills that we did were not like any drill that I've ever done before. It was so realistic, as in like it had so much application to real life. And There was no shoot houses. There was no force on force. But the drills that we did, and I say drills, but we learned a lot about drills and what they can do to you as a shooter, good and bad. So the term drill I'm using it loosely, because if you take this class, which I can't recommend it enough, you will understand what drills are good for. And so when I say drills, I mean like, okay, we're gonna step up to the line, we're gonna work on this concept, we're gonna train in this concept here, and it's not normal. It's not what I've experienced in other classes. So it's awesome. It's awesome. So I challenge you to go out and get some real good training. Please take a class from Brian Hill. He is freaking awesome. He is a fantastic coach. He's not just a shooting coach, he's a life coach. And I can't wait to apply the concepts. That's all I got. I'll talk more about it later, I'm sure. You guys, take care.